What is going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech on the road here right now. But I had some time to check this guy out. And I wanted to get my thoughts on how this works with M8 Headless, what it does really well, what it struggles with. So, when it comes to this device, just to kind of clue people in, this is the same specifications as like the 35XX Plus, basically. Um, it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and it's in that 351 MP factor. Now, when it comes to M8 Headless, let me say what it does really well and what it kind of struggles with. The first and foremost, the screen is beautiful. It's a really nice screen. I believe it's the same screen as the 35XX Plus, which is still one of my favorite devices to use for M8 Headless. But for the horizontal factor, it's kind of nice. Just as far as having your hands separated and going through the segments and whatnot. So the screen is really beautiful to use. Very bright. It's cool to create music during and at night as well. So very nice there. The biggest factor, the biggest importance on this is the two Type-C ports that can work as OTG ports. So that basically means you can plug your teensy into one port, and for the other port, you can decide what you want to do to use it with M8 Headless. So for example, if you want to have a really great sound via headphones when you're monitoring and making the music, you can get a headphone DAC. DAC standing for digital audio converter. And you can plug this into the other, Type-C port, and you're going to get a really nice sound out of the device. Because for these devices, the audio only goes so loud. So because of that, it's kind of hard to make music with it at times because the audio is so low, and you're not hearing the clarity of certain things. With the headphone DAC, it changes all of that, and it actually amplifies the audio as well when you use that into the second port. So that's a huge function, which is great. Another option too is you can do like a dual OTG, and if you wanted to sample music into it, I believe you can do that as well. You just have to have the right script for it. But you can, make a dual OTG adapter. So it just opens up a lot of different opportunities for you to make music with it. The downside of this device is that, one, the form factor of it, while the horizontal factor is cool, it's very cramped. It's very cramped, because you have the directional button, these pads, and the select. They're all just cramped in this little area, and when you're working through M8 Headless, it makes it difficult and cramped to navigate. So for example, how this is configured for M8 Headless, when you're doing your shift is your select or it is your L2, and as you can imagine, it's kind of cramped and difficult to navigate. One thing you can do to mitigate that is that if you go into the folder, the M8C folder, into the SD card, not from the teensy, but from the actual device that you have the M8C client on, you can go into the client and actually go into the configuration file, and you can swap. This is what I did. I swapped the select and the start button. So that way, if I want to navigate, instead of hitting select, I can hit this button, the start button, and it'll actually be my shift button. So a little more complex, but it's actually very, very easy to do. You just go into the file, you just switch the parameters, and then you save it, and then you just eject it, put it in here, and then when you upload, when you start the M8 Headless, it'll be swapped. So that was how I did it. That's how I kind of fixed that situation. But yeah, so overall, it's a decent device to use with M8 Headless, but that is kind of annoying. Another thing too is that the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi, they're really slow in this device. I know the Bluetooth is 4.2, I think. It took forever for it to connect to my Bluetooth keyboard. It actually never did. That's why my 35 SP, I was having so many issues with it, is that the Bluetooth on these M8 devices, they're just not, they're not good. Yeah, it's just, they're not very fast. The trim UI, zero issues. Very quick to connect. Plug and play. And I actually bought my Trim UI Smart Pro. I got it back, so now I have the DMG color. But yeah, so that is my thoughts on this, the 35XXH. If you have questions, let me know. Once again, I'm not a guru on this M8 Headless stuff. I'm learning like everybody else, but I just like to share what I know. So test this tech. I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.